Hello everybody, welcome back to IDAE Infinite Digital Academy for Engineering, and in today's video we'll be talking about factoring quadratic equations. Now, factoring quadratic equations is just a technique to solve quadratic equations, alright? Now, what do we mean by solving quadratic equations? The meaning of solving an equation means to find the unknown of the equation, alright? So, for instance, here, x is the unknown of this equation. We don't know what x is. But we know all the other things in this equation except x. So solving means find x, know what x is, all right? So x is just a number. When we plug it in here, this side should equal to this side. Or in other words, when we plug x in this equation, it should satisfy, okay, this equation. Now, let's just give an example, a simple linear equation, all right? 5x minus 10. Now, it would say that solve this linear equation. And solving this linear equation is pretty straightforward. We just add 10 to both sides, we get 5x equals 10, and then we divide 5 from both sides, we get x equals 10 over 5, or x equals 2, right? Now, this was pretty straightforward, but let's just check if our answer is true or not. So we plug 2 back in our equation. It says here 5 times 2, we plug 2 for x over here. This was our original equation, right? So we plug this 2 here and it becomes 5 times 2 minus 10, 5 times 2 minus 10. So 5 times 2 is 10, 10 minus 10 is 0, and this equation is indeed true, and x is indeed equals to 2. Perfect. Now, you can see that solving such a linear equation is pretty straightforward. We just need to eliminate the factors that are with x to leave x alone and get our result, right? But here in a quadratic equation like this one, it's not that easy. Let's see why. So let's try to get rid of 10, all right? So we add 10 to both sides and we get x squared plus 3x equals 10. Perfect. So now the thing is, we have two factors of x on this side, and we cannot mix them. We cannot say x equals something. We have two factors, and we have to find a way to do this, right? So we can start factoring, but we're not going to do factoring like this in this equation. We're going to do factoring in this equation, all right? So let's come back to our original equation, which was x squared plus 3x minus 10. And let's start factoring this equation, right? And this is super easy. What we need to do is we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and add up to 3, all right? Multiply to negative 10 and add up to 3. So we need to find two numbers, for instance, negative 1 and 10, which add up, multiply to. So we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and add up to 3, all right? Two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and add up to 3. Okay, so let's search for those two numbers. So we have negative 1 and 10. When we multiply those two numbers, we get negative 10. That's good. But when we add them, we get 9, okay? And we don't need that. We need 3. We need the addition to be 3 and the multiplication to be negative 10. Now here the multiplication is okay, but addition is not. So let's search for two other numbers. And this is negative 10 times 1, which is negative 10, negative 10 plus 1, which is negative 9. And we don't need that. So we'll go. We have negative 5 times 2, which is negative 10. And we have negative 5 plus 2, which is negative 3. But that's not the thing we want. We want positive 3, not negative 3. All right. So we continue. Here we have negative 2 times 5, which is negative 10, and negative 2 plus 5, which is 3. Okay, and this is indeed what we want. So we found the two numbers that actually add up to 3 and multiply to negative 10. Perfect. So now we can simply factor the equation just by saying x minus 2 times x plus 5, all right? So we have done factoring, right? We factored the equation. Now it's super simple to solve this quadratic equation. And the reason for this is because now we know, and we can use a theorem here. We can say this bracket times this bracket equals to 0 in only 3 conditions. If x minus 2 is equals to 0, then no matter what this bracket is, 0 times anything would be 0, okay? Or if x plus 5, this bracket is only 0, then no matter what this guy is, everything would be 0, all right? Or another way is we say either like x minus 2 and x plus 5 are both 0, right? And then we get 0. So what we can do here is we can say x minus 2 equals to 0 or x plus 5 equals to 0. Perfect. Now, moving forward, we can simply add 2 to both sides in this equation, and we get x equals 2, and simply subtract 5 from both sides in this equation, and we get x equals negative 5, all right? So we say x equals negative 5 or x equals positive 2, all right? That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video.